Here's a look at Tropical Storm Podul out here in the Philippine Sea. Actually, just over the northern Mariana Islands, moving off towards the west. It is slowly strengthening as it moves into an environment favorable for some slow intensification. Not terribly rapid intensification at this point, but it could get its act together as it passes here south of Okinawa and starts to turn towards the north and west, possibly impacting Taiwan or Okinawa Honto, Miyako, or Ishigaki-jima, that's in the southern Japanese islands, directly as a typhoon. Now, this track is based on the Japan Meteorological Agency's outlook. They're a little bit conservative typically, but if it does get its act together, we could be looking at maybe a Cat 2 or 3 out there somewhere in the southern Japanese islands. So once again, Podul could impact Okinawa. It also is still going to be enhancing the monsoon in the Philippines, and despite a lot of that early hype and a lot of misinformation out there, my goodness, I've seen a lot of posts saying, people are saying, oh, a monster typhoon, and already calling it Fabian, but Fabian formed in the West Philippine Sea, in fact. So this is why you don't want to overhype and you don't want to get ahead of yourself by calling storms a name before they're actually named, because you can sometimes kind of put your own foot in your mouth. Anyways, here's a look at the JTWC track. This is from the U.S. military out of Hawaii. And yeah, you can see they actually keep it a little bit closer towards Miyako and Ishigaki-jima, and then bringing it on shore into northern Taiwan. Do always want to remind you the cone of air and the spread in the ensembles. In fact, the right side here is showing the GFS, which actually kind of curves it a little bit further towards the north and a bigger spread, while the ECMWF is consolidated just towards the south of Okinawa Honto. With that said, here's the deal. There still is going to be kind of bigger impacts on the north side of the storm, especially since I do believe this is going to start to get impacted by a bit of shear with these passing troughs off here towards the north. So here's your storm, by the way. There's your trough. So basically all of these storms across southwestern Japan. In fact, parts of Kagoshima there in Kyushu, that is out here in southwestern Japan. Serious flooding yesterday due to just this overall trough, this passing low, bringing just a tremendous amount of precip. So the last thing they need is another storm, but I do believe that trough itself is degrading the Westpac high, the ridge located right in here. So this is going to want to round it and kind of turn towards north, following that trough like water flowing down a hill. All the while, it still could enhance the southwest monsoon just a bit. By the way, right about in here is where Fabian is, the named storm system by Pagasa. They did put out a short-lived tropical depression. I think they did that just to get ahead of people trying to say that this Fabian is going to be this next storm towards the east. That would be funny if that's what they were actually doing. But it was short-lived long enough where it did have a low-level circulation, and they got on top of it. So shout out to Pagasa. But like I said, that's weakened out. It's moved away. Our concentration is on Podul back here towards the east. That is its international name by the Japan Meteorological Agency. This is a look at GFS on the 12th. You can see the date here in the bottom of the screen. 12th, that's this Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. GFS been pretty aggressive on bringing this closer to Miyako-jima. Now, the ECMWF, let's rewind it here. A little bit weaker, but closer to Okinawa. And I think the JMA, the Japan Meteorological Agency, they're actually bringing that forecast track right about smack in the middle between those two, with the GFS down here and the ECMWF like that. If it took this track, it would definitely be a lot closer to Okinawa and the southern Japanese islands, bring in maybe some solid kind of storm force conditions while it passes on by Tuesday and into Wednesday. So yeah, you know, let's actually continue to go through our show here, and I'll get in more detail. But the point is, once again, this could impact maybe Okinawa or northern Taiwan. It is not impacting the Philippines, nor do I expect a super typhoon out of this. Yeah, it's going to move and slowly intensify. We're probably going to get a typhoon, but the atmospheric conditions are just not there, especially the further west it goes, because we got shear with the monsoon in that trough towards the north that really is going to eat it right up and just kind of rip it apart. And this is another look at what I'm talking about. So here we go. There's your overall flow. Here's our storm. On Sunday and Monday, it is going to go through an area that could allow for that intensification. But then you see the overall flow like this out ahead of it. See all those winds just racing in from the south and west? That is the southwest monsoon, and that is shear. And more or less, it's those difference in winds. And watch how it hits that and see how it just kind of poofs out right there. Let's loop it back one more time in the top of your screen. You can see it. Watch as it hits that, basically that high wave winds, and poof. So as long as that monsoon is there, it's not going to allow it to maintain that stronger intensity as it approaches the islands further towards the west here. All the while, though, it is going to pass towards the north, and it is going to somewhat enhance the southwest monsoon, but not a true hanging habaga. That enhanced southwest monsoon is going to be setting up. It's not going to be a true one, just some additional instability with showers kind of flowing in there. So here's another look, a little bit more high resolution with the ECMWF guidance. Like I said, this one's further towards the north, but it does take it right just towards the south of Okinawa Honto in the right front quadrant. That would definitely be at least storm force conditions. And if I was out here in Okinawa, I wouldn't be freaking out about a storm, but I definitely would have it in the back of my mind today. Tomorrow you'll have much better ideas to how it could form up or develop, or maybe just miss you completely. But Tuesday and the Wednesday, I would anticipate some showers, definitely at least messy out there. I mean, and if we do get a typhoon, you just gotta stay inside. You kind of gotta ride it out. That's what Okinawa Honto does, right? Anyways, hey, you can see Fabian right there kind of spinning up on our satellite imagery over the Philippines. Yeah, it kind of weakens out and kicks off towards the north and west. Overall, just seeing kind of that convection with the monsoon still flaring up some showers for that area. Let's do a flyover of our friends in the Philippines. I know we got a lot of you watching out here who find these updates useful. So how about Palawan, 32 degrees here on your Sunday as we go ahead through the second half of your weekend. For Visayas, isolated after the showers. Temperatures remaining in high 20s to lower 30s, kind of right in that cooler season in August, yeah, because we have the monsoon and you still got those scattered showers. For example, Baguio only at 23 there for your high. Wow, not much cooler in Cagayan, 33. Oof, that's on the warm side. Anyways, hey, if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, please let me know. Please hit that subscribe button. I can't stress that enough. Also, follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook especially, I just hit 150K followers on there. So if you are not following and part of that whole conversation, what are you doing? 150,000 other people did, which just blows my mind. I can't believe that. Let's get up to 100,000 on YouTube. That's been my goal. Number one, my goal, because it helps with the algorithm once you get up over 100K for YouTube. It helps get these videos out to a little bit more people, and kind of sets us up to compete with these updates against, major TV stations, which just destroy me in the algorithm right now. So, yeah, that's one of my big request right now. But if you want to support the channel, like Steve just wrote me the other day. He's been going through a lot and is still supporting the channel here in our Thai food category. Thank you so much, Steve. But everybody else here as well who continues to support the channel, Lunar's Cafe, you guys, a big shout out to you there in Siargao. I know we got a lot of people that watch out of Siargao. I need to get out there soon and visit. I've been saying that for a while. What is wrong with me? I need to get out there. You know what's wrong with me? I spend too much time working all the time. Anyways, if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, please let me know as we continue to track a tropical storm, likely going to be Typhoon Podul out here in the Philippine Sea as it approaches Taiwan or the southern Japanese islands, but still bringing that enhanced monsoon for parts of the Philippines. I'm meteorologist Robert Sped. As always, stay safe out there, friends. Bye.